Welcome back, everyone, to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. Now, you might be wondering, where's the campaign that I've been playing, the Union campaign, the career mode? Well, I want to explain that to you, and I actually started explaining it at the start of my first video for this, so let me just kind of defer you to what I had to say about it there, and we'll kind of go from there. The game has updated so many times since then, and the way that it's played and the way everything kind of works, and just my own personal experience with the game got to the place where it was really becoming unplayable, and for me, looking at it as a potential audience member, it was becoming kind of unwatchable and unwinnable, frankly. I was at the place where, because of readiness settings and because of my participation as part of a larger set of armies, my army was spread out. I couldn't move any of my divisions, and they were one by one getting attacked, and I couldn't even give them orders to withdraw because my general wasn't present. It's just really, I recorded a whole episode, and it wasn't entertaining at all. So with all of that in mind, I've decided to go ahead and, just for the sake of the viewers and for the sake of entertainment and getting more of a look at the game, so those of you can decide whether or not you even want to play it yourself, we're going to take on a Confederate campaign. This is 1861. This is the regimental level campaign, just like we were playing before, except now I'm the Confederates. This is very hard difficulty. And what I've done, though, is I've made one change to the settings from our previous campaign, and that is that I have turned off the readiness setting. That's, I think, going to make for a better gaming experience and also a better viewer experience for all of you. I don't know if you can actually see that in here or not, but I've turned off the readiness settings. We are still on very hard difficulty with medium aggressiveness by the Union. So my first act, of course, with my general is to choose a command, and then I'll show you kind of my attributes here. We're going to choose what regiment we're going to command to start, and we want something that's going to be heavily involved in the action, and of course the Army of the Potomac, as it was known at the time, is probably going to be our best bet for that. My personal character is from Kentucky. We're not going to have any Kentucky options, though. We've got 300 prestige to start, so I want a unit that's pretty decent in size. We've got the 18th Mississippi, which has 706 men. I feel like that might be our best route for starting out. That'll leave us enough prestige to maybe be able to take over another regiment or two when we get into our first battle, and hopefully make our prestige grow a little faster there. So let's take a look at my character. I am a lieutenant colonel now that I've taken command of the regiment. I'm a veteran of the Mexican War. I am a West Point grad. My main experience is in artillery. I am unflinching. I'm known to be cool as ice under pressure. It's like the stress of leadership in battle don't affect me at all. I'm prudent. I'm known to avoid danger, not risking myself or my men in the heat of battle. Some see weakness, others think prudence is a good thing. Teetotaler, which means I avoid alcohol at all costs. And then I'm devout. I'm very religious. Administration is kind of my highest stat, and then everything else is kind of low at the moment. We do have $250, which we can actually transform into prestige instantly by throwing a party. So we can spend $200 to get some additional prestige, which I think will help right off the bat. So let's go ahead and dive into this, and we'll see what happens. Right off the bat, our army has moved into position really close to Washington, and it looks like we're going to get right in on the action. We're going to have pretty even odds here against 3 separate Union units. I like our chances, but you know what? First battle, anything's possible. Units are inexperienced. They're going to break easily. We don't have good weapons. Who knows what's going to happen? So to start out, we've been given the task of defending exactly where we are, so I'm sure at some point we're going to get some movement. There's my personal battle flag right there, which I chose. I kind of like that one, so I'm glad that's the one we got. Here I am, 18th Mississippi. Let's go ahead and take a look at the order of battle. You can see here I'm part of Jones's brigade. Right now there are no divisions, no corps. Everybody's just in an individual brigade. I'm with the 17th Mississippi and the 5th South Carolina, along with some artillery. So we'll wait here until we get some orders and we find out exactly where we're going to go to fight. Well, it looks like defending here was the right idea because the Union is coming to us. Right now we're in reserve, so we aren't going to see much action unless we get moved up here at some point. Taking a look at the numbers, pretty even on both sides as far as the numbers go. Morale's almost identical, both pretty low. Come on, come on, come on. Give us some orders to move forward. I want to fight. Don't make us sit back here in reserve the whole time. I would imagine now that we're seeing the enemy, we're going to get orders here soon. All right, so first things first, I'm going to take over Harry Hayes in the 7th Louisiana for 155 prestige. This is going to give me a unit on the front line, so I'm going to move him over a little bit. It looks like we are now being given an order to move up a little further. I'm going to move up right next to Hayes in the Louisiana, and so I can have both of my units side by side. And hopefully we can start earning some prestige, getting some experience for my men. Start working our way up. My goal is hopefully to have an independent command, at least a corps level independent command by 1863, if at all possible. Alright, so I moved the 7th Louisiana out along with, well, I had skirmishers, but it looks like the skirmishers have reattached to the main body. They're out here, they're taking on the 1st Connecticut. I'm desperately trying to get my 18th Mississippi up there beside them, but they're taking quite a while to get into position. But in the meantime, 7th Louisiana are going to be the first ones to start earning some prestige for us. If you're new to the game, if you're not familiar with how it works in this career mode, every casualty we inflict, every time we move to an assigned position, these things all gain prestige for us, which we can spend like currency in game on a number of things. You can also earn prestige, like right there, 25 prestige, because we routed the unit that we were facing. And I earn prestige with any unit that I have direct control over. So I spent prestige to take control, temporary control of the 7th Louisiana, which of course will put me at odds with their commanding officer, Harry Hayes. It'll damage my relationship with him for the future. But it means that I gain the prestige that that unit gains. Alright, so my 2 units are now out here on the flank. Let's go ahead and move them up to this fence. Get a little bit of cover there. And then I might send my skirmishers forward from the fence to try and take on this artillery here. Overall for the Army, we've inflicted more casualties than we've taken so far, so that's some good news, but morale is really poor on both sides. So far not taking many casualties though, but 18th Mississippi, my main unit, is tired from all the moving. So let's go ahead and send some skirmishers out. Specifically, I want to target that artillery. Go ahead and zoom back out and get an overall look. We are way out in front of the main body. Hopefully that does not become a problem for us, which I think so far we're okay. There's William Tecumseh Sherman with his brigade over on the Union right. All right, hopefully we can neutralize this battery with our skirmishers. All right, the good news is that our fellow soldiers, our fellow units are doing their job. Whoa, the 5th Alabama just went charging into the center of the Union line. I feel that may end badly for them, especially with that big battery right there. But I'm hoping that'll encourage, and it looks like it is encouraging the rest of the Army to move forward, which means I'll be in a less exposed position here. In fact, it might... No, there's too many Union regiments there. I'm not going to advance further than this. think that'd be too dangerous for me right now. Alright, skirmishers are going to start falling back. Let's go ahead and pull ours back here too. We're going to invite the enemy to start moving forward against us now. Still looking good. So the Union's advancing now. We've got a tired 11th Massachusetts in our front here. Hopefully they're going to get right on the edge to where at least some of the 18th Mississippi will be able to fire. Worst case scenario, we draw them in a little more. As long as nobody else is over here on our front, we'll bring the 18th Mississippi out and get into his flank. We've got some help here beside us in the form of some artillery, the Washington artillery that's there. Alright, 7th Louisiana should be opening up here in a minute now. They've got the cover of the fence. We've got pretty even odds in terms of numbers. Alright, there's nobody advancing on this side at the moment. These New York boys might, but for now I think we're probably safe to bring the 18th Mississippi out. My commanding general's way the heck back here over on the left side. So it's going to take a while for that order to get there to him. There we go. Maybe we don't have to wait, even though it was showing a connection to our brigade commander. Since I'm the colonel, I ought to be able to issue that order without having to get orders from my colonel. There we go. We got 2 regiments there now, which means that obviously 4th Louisiana is going to have their hands full. But hopefully that cover will help. And this flanking fire will help. Alright, engage at will. Already doing that, sir. Overall, things not going great at the moment, even though casualty-wise they're going alright. Our morale's bad. We've had too many units routed. I like seeing my flag over my unit. That's really cool. It makes it easy to identify them on the battlefield. Just keep an eye, make sure nobody's trying to get on my flank. It doesn't appear that they are. And it looks like we routed at least one of the regiments. That's another 25 prestige. So far we've inflicted 65 prestige worth of casualties. We've got 50 for the 2 routes and 40 for reaching combat zones that I've been ordered to. 7th Louisiana's pulling back. I don't like that, but they've got a lot more coming down upon them here. Come on, stay put, boys. Try to rally Hayes a little bit. We do have that artillery right there, which is helping. We've got a whole South Carolina brigade behind us. Looks like Jubal Early's, but he's not advancing any of them to our support. Here come 3 more regiments straight at us. And unfortunately, at the moment, I don't have any ability to help because I don't have the range. I can't fire at all, in fact. Might be why these guys pulled back. Be nice to get some help here. Yeah, that's why he's pulling back, because he doesn't have the range and he's being fired on. Alright, in which case, it might behoove me to do the same. Let's go ahead and pull back behind the fence. In fact, the whole left side of the Confederate line's pulling back now, but we have made things a little more in our favor. Okay, here come 2 more regiments straight at my boys. Looks like the 5th Maine and the 3rd Maine, about 1,600 men combined. I've got just under 700 available. Alright, we gotta get these Louisiana boys back up here, although they're in verge of breaking, which is not a good scenario for me. I could call up the 7th Virginia, but that's gonna cause me to spend a lot of prestige. I don't think I want to spend any more right now. don't think I'd be able to gain it back by the end of the battle. I need to kind of balance that out a little bit. Alright, we've got 3 regiments coming at us now. This may get ugly really fast. I feel like this might be the time that we have to consider falling back. Where's the, it didn't give me the pop-up to be able to order a fallback. We're going to probably end up turning around and get fired in the back here. Alright, stay facing them, please. Looks like that's what we're doing so far. As long as we keep our facing as we fall back. There you go. Ah, and then they turned right at the last minute. Darn it, which caused us to break. Well, hopefully we'll rally. We've only lost 59 men. We're on to day 2, and it redeployed me. I was doing alright. I had only lost 59 men. They redeployed me. I instantly lost 11 more men. And my condition, my cohesion is fragmented at the moment. So, not an ideal situation. We're going to bring our Louisiana regiment back and around and over here to support us. But we're going to have to sit tight right here in the center while we let our cohesion rebuild a little bit before the Union gets to us. And hopefully we can start inflicting some casualties. So we couldn't get the 7th Louisiana pulled over. They ended up being engaged. They're right up here in the corner of this fence. Tried to get them dug in behind the fence in the corner there, but it looks like it's not exactly happening the way we wanted it to. So they're going to be taking on 2 regiments. That's going to be a real issue. In the meantime, my own regiment is right here in the center of everything. So I sent out some skirmishers just to kind of help slow down the enemy a little bit while we hopefully continue to rebuild our cohesion, which looks to be intact now. So that's good. And we'll just hold the line here at the center while this massive Union force comes straight at us. Overall now 2,500 enemy casualties, just under 2,100 for us, so we're still inflicting more than we're taking. His morale, though, is still slightly higher than ours, but then we hold objectives, so that's the objective right there where we are right next to the center of the action. And what's happening with our Louisiana boys over here, all by themselves, taking on 2 infantry regiments and a battery. Looks like they're going to break before long. They're not going to hold very much longer there. Can't send out their skirmishers. They're already engaged. Alright, we're pretty much going to have to focus on our own regiment for the time being. Holding up a pretty substantial Union force right now with just our skirmishers. Yeah, they're going to break here in a minute, though. They'll have to fall back. Let's go ahead and call them in. That's 1, 2, 3, potentially 4 regiments coming straight at us. There's 3 more that are moving in toward our left flank. We could be in a really precarious situation. 7 Louisiana has held. They can focus pretty much on the 1st Michigan now. Can we get as lucky? I'm worried about my left flank right here. Alright, here comes the 14th New York State Militia charging right into us. They're gonna come up to the fence and try to get a little protection there. I've only lost 83, 86, 88. He's hitting us with a couple volleys. But our morale situation is precarious at best, as you can expect in a first battle. Alright, we lost another big volley or 2 hit us, and we ended up with 110 lost. And that was all it took for an untrained, untested regiment to break 110 casualties. But it looks like we also broke the 4th PA in the process. 7th Louisiana's holding on by a thread right now. And overall, still inching toward victory. We'll see, though. My unit's recovered substantially enough to be able to get back into the action, and I've gone ahead and brought up our friends, the 7th Louisiana, next to us. So we're going to sit here on the line. We are just a hair out of range of being able to engage, so let's go ahead and send skirmishers forward. Looks like the Union regiment that we're facing is low on ammo, so that's helpful and might give us an opportunity, because most of the Union forces have pulled back from the front line and they're not really a threat to us at the moment. So let's just do a little skirmishing, earn a little bit of prestige, maybe inflict some casualties and drive him back. Looks like he did just pull back a little bit, so let's go ahead and push up a little more. Not sure why this unit here has my flag. Alright, 3,400 enemy casualties, 2,700 for us. Morale still slightly higher for him, but if that objective point total keeps climbing for us and we keep holding the objective, I think long term we're in good shape to win the battle if all other things remain the same. Our skirmishers have been driven back because the 2nd Connecticut has advanced forward toward us, but I feel good about this. We've got about 1,200 men on the line, facing off about 400 who are low on ammunition, and we have cover. So, Hayes, you got to call your skirmishers in, buddy. We need to get full ability to fire on them. There we go. Are they a little bit out of Hayes' range? I think they might be. Alright, we're going to have to move him up then. Prestige is over 300. That's good. He's pulling back. Okay. So let's pull back ourselves. We'll send our skirmishers back out. Oh, we broke the 2nd Connecticut. Excellent. Okay, another Union brigade is launching an attack. Pretty much the center is right here. It's all been around Milkhouse Ford Road, which is the objective point. But very, very slowly we are grinding out what appears like it's going to be a narrow victory. But we'll see what happens once the day is over and we get into another day and we end up with deployment again and he gets resupplied. 3rd Connecticut has moved up. Our skirmishers are dealing with them. 2nd Maine is really low on ammo now. We're doing well. So my 18th Mississippi has lost 111 men. I'm curious to see how many casualties we have inflicted ourselves. First thing we have to do, though, is we have to call our skirmishers back so that they'll merge back with my unit, the parent unit, and then I can see the combined figures for that parent unit. So let's go ahead and take a look at our combat report. We've inflicted 148 casualties. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm the 18th Mississippi. That's 247 casualties inflicted. Strength report. We've lost 111 men. So we've inflicted better than 2-to-1 casualties. That's what we need. If I can do that every battle, I will be very, very happy with that. Another pretty major Union assault coming our way. We've got a number of brigades descending on our position and not a lot of support around us at the moment. 18th Virginia, I could take them over for 155, but this late in the day, I just don't see that it's worth it. You can see the sun's getting pretty low in the sky. Shadows are getting longer. Really wish these guys had come up to the fence, though. All right, we're going to pull our skirmishers back. This whole Union line is dealing with bad ammunition situation. He's just out of range of me, though. Here they come. Alright, 3rd Connecticut is about to get into range. We're going to unleash a volley on him here. Although I can't take much in the way of fire before I'll break. That's the main problem I'm dealing with. Another volley or two and I'm toast. You know what? Oh, I can't send skirmishers out now. I can send... No, can't send them out from Hayes either. Alright, if we can get one more volley off before we're driven off, that'd be good. Come on, boys. Looks like we're firing at will at the moment. More Union regiments moving into position, so I'm afraid to move the Louisianans out from their cover. Alright, let's speed this up along a little bit. I was hoping that we'd hang on till daylight, or till nighttime, but I don't think we're going to hang on that long. We're up to 128 now in losses. I don't know if rallying right now is going to do much. We're so close to breaking on our loss resilience. Up to 139 losses now. Alright, he fell back. We broke him. Oh, that's beautiful. How many casualties have we inflicted now? Strength report, we've lost 139 men. We've inflicted 301 casualties on the enemy now. Beautiful, beautiful. We've done our part toward the victory. Here we go again. It's almost 7:30. My right flank has collapsed. Basically, my two regiments are the only ones holding the center, or really the left, which means, though, I'm about to just have a mess on my hands, as massive amounts of Union troops are going to descend on my position, and I'm going to be fired on from multiple sides. We're going to take some casualties here that I'm not crazy about taking. I think a volley or two and we'll break, which breaking at this point might not be the worst thing just because of what we're facing. Here we go. Yep, there we go. Oh, we broke the 2nd Maine in the meantime, or at least the 7th Louisiana did. Well, unfortunately, at the end of the day, my regiment retreated from the battlefield, and so did a few other Confederate regiments, and after that, turned into a defeat. We inflicted 4,400 enemy casualties, though, but we also lost about a quarter of our own army, so both sides suffered pretty bad in that one. We did earn a decent amount of prestige, though, that I think is going to help us moving forward. We want to be careful about the prestige, though, because when I count the prestige that I'm going to earn from the money I spent on the party, I may already be getting into the range where I might be able to get myself a divisional command once divisions are created. So I might want to hold on to it and keep an eye on that. I have finally seen the elephant. Adrenaline is running in my veins. Such an exciting and yet scary time. We had a heated exchange of words with Lieutenant Colonel Burt. I'm not sure why him specifically. Let's see, we've still got David R. Jones as our commanding officer in charge of our brigade. We'll have to wait until the Army reforms into divisions before we start thinking about a divisional command. We should be getting that prestige boost here pretty soon from the party. In the meantime, our army has moved up to Harper's Ferry. Was not expecting to see that. Action accomplished. Your party was a great success, and you've earned a lot of personal prestige along the way. The wine was good, so was the whiskey. Engagement at Boonville, Union victorious in the Trans-Mississippi Theater. We've got 637 prestige now. I think that'll be enough to get a divisional command. I mean, even like the Army of the Northwest is a division level army at this point. I doubt we would get that, but it's worth taking a look at. So, I guess we're thinking division command. I don't even have a brigade yet. I need to be thinking about brigade command, first of all. Army of Northern Virginia has been created. I could get a brigade command right now easily in one of these armies. Army of the Northwest, I can't apply. I guess my rank's not high enough for a division level command yet. I need to at least be a brigadier general or probably a colonel, I would say. I think I like the idea of staying in the army that I'm in, though, although serving under Lee would be nice because you do get the trickle-down effect from higher-ranking officers in terms of how they impact you. But his army is still being formed. So this is a Georgia brigade that hasn't even been constituted yet, whereas I could take on a brigade in the army I'm already a part of. No, you know what? I don't have the prestige for that yet. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to apply for Walker's brigade. Oh, no, this is transfer. I'm really not paying good attention to what I'm doing right now. I apologize. These are applying for command. This is applying for a transfer, which would mean that my unit would transfer to that brigade. It's not what I'm interested in right now. I guess maybe because I'm only a lieutenant colonel, they're not giving me the option to command a brigade yet. So I can't spend prestige to do that. Let's go ahead and take a look at my unit again. Take a look at my status. I am lieutenant colonel. I need to at least get promoted to colonel before we can even think about that. No weapons are available. I was going to say we could at least check that and spend some prestige there, but I guess not. Let's go ahead and at least spend some of this prestige to add an adjutant for my staff. And what that's going to do for me is it's going to give me a bonus to initiative and a reduction in battle order delay time. And that improves over time your staff. So John Hunt Morgan's going to be my adjutant. We'll go ahead and hire him. I've still got 500 prestige. I think that's a good spot to be in. Whoa! I don't know what just happened, but guy came along, joined my staff as a partisan. Here you go, joined as a companion, inglorious partisan. His stories of him killing prisoners of war or hanging civilians who helped the enemy are dark, sure, but you connect in a very special way. And then the 3rd Division of the Army of the Potomac came through, and we had a little skirmish, and boom, suddenly I have 2,200 prestige, most of it from that battle that I didn't even get to participate in. I'm not complaining, though, but the question is, what am I going to use it on? Let's go ahead and take a look at actions and see what we could spend some of this prestige on. I think the very first thing we need to do, though, is we could spend some of it on promotion to colonel. What's that going to cost us? $5.99. So let's go ahead and get promoted to colonel, because then we might be able to go ahead and get ourselves a brigade command with some of that prestige. There we go. We can command a regiment, a brigade, even a division. So now let's go back to military. Now, suddenly, lots of options opened up, including a potential independent command with the Army of North Carolina. And that might be worth it, because then we don't have to sit around waiting for an army to move. There's also the Army of Virginia. And then we can start using prestige to recruit new units. We could also potentially serve under Robert E. Lee. We don't have... Oh, they're engaged in battle. That's why. Otherwise, I might actually be able to take the Army of Northern Virginia. Let me go ahead and wait until they're done fighting, because honestly, kind of like to have that army. Reports of a victory at Winchester. That was the Army of Northern Virginia. So here's our chance. Lee's the overall commander of all armies, but we're going to take command of the Army of Northern Virginia. That should get me at least, I'm hoping, promoted to brigadier general automatically. So pretty quick jump. Now we've got ourselves, in July of 1861, we've got ourselves an independent command because of that crazy amount of prestige that we earned there. So now, there's no other weapons available, but that's okay. The first thing I want to do is I want to take this cavalry, attach them directly to my army headquarters, which is really just a division at this point. And then we're going to start recruiting some new units. I'm just going to auto-generate whatever the quickest unit is, which in this case is going to be the 3rd Maryland, 24 days. That actually didn't cost me that much in prestige. That's kind of impressive. Let's recruit another one. And we're going to need some artillery. I'm going to attach the artillery directly to the army as well for now. Well, no, you know what? Let's keep it with the brigades. Let's go ahead and recruit at least one battery for the other one. Do we have anything else? We have 24-pounder howitzers available. Perfect. I would like that, please. It's going to cost me some prestige. Totally worth it. I'd like to get some better weapons, but they're not available yet. So this is going to get us up to about 7,000 men already. I'm very, very happy about that. New command. All right, now let's go ahead back to my staff for a second. Because now we can actually add to our staff as well. And that's going to cost us some prestige. An adjutant general. Dorsey Pender's available. Kind of like that. Leadership and readiness. Yeah, let's add Dorsey Pender. That's what D stands for. It's William Dorsey Pender. Now, our staff corps we have to be careful with because these do not transfer with us if we move up. Our general staff would. So if we don't plan on being at this level for very long, this might not be a good use of our prestige. I might hold off for now. Okay, so Army of Northern Virginia, current headquarters is in Winchester. We're kind of operating in the Shenandoah Valley at the moment. We're going to start waiting now. We've only got 2,800 men, but we're up to 7,000 once we get some more. So we'll have to be very careful with how we operate as an independent command because we're obviously not a big army like, say, the Army of the Potomac that's got almost 17,000 men. So we'll have to pick and choose our opportunities carefully, but that'll be for the next episode. We're going to be alternating this game with Ultimate General American Revolution, so more of that coming tomorrow. In the meantime, if you'd hit that like button and leave a comment, that'll help tremendously with this video and encourage me to make more a little faster. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.